Hi, I'm Mike, the bearded bimbler, and this is my adventures. So come with me as we run, walk, crawl and cycle across the many and varied landscapes of the UK.
Having to drink my porridge this morning, like a porridge tea, because I forgot my spoon when I set off, and ones that I did pick up, I don't know where they've gone now, so I'm currently without any utensils to eat food with. I need to try and find a bloody spoon or something later on. Oh. That sun is lovely now. Lovely now. At 6 o'clock it comes up. So warm. Hilly warm day ahead.
So there we are, and I don't quite zoom in, but this bit I'm on now has a singular arrow pointing down, which means it's extremely steep. Oh, so as you can see, I've got to climb up, and I've already climbed up. Oh, so this isn't the only climb. I know that going up to the Stiper Stones is a heck of a climb as well. So lots of hiker bike already this morning. Oh dear. Anyway. Just come down from Tankerville. And there's this point there's a car park there, so you can park there and then wander over and look at that absolutely stunning view. I mean, I'm not kidding you, that is amazing. You've got all of the hills there which make up the kind of like part of the Stiper Stones, and it goes all the way down into the flat valleys down there. Beautiful, especially on a day like this today when there's like 0 people around. And there's just the birds and the sun. Absolutely amazing. Just coming down from Snail Beach, and we're nearly onto the kind of main road by Minsterley, and I was shooting past down this road here, this little country lane, and I come across this place. How utterly awesome does that look? I mean, that's amazing. I absolutely love it. Its own little kind of thing as well, isn't it? What an amazing place to live. I think that's just an amazing building. Yeah. See, and I would never have known that was here unless I'd have come down here this morning. Fantastic. Fantastic. St George's Church in Pontisbury. Thought pop up here and have a look and have a rest my legs for a little bit. This was never part of my original route. The original route was going to go along the A44 or the A488 into Shrewsbury, but I decided to kind of come down sort of to Earl's Hill, bottom of Earl's Hill, and scooted along and join up with the back roads and then into Shrewsbury that way. So glad I did. Beautiful little single track bridleway here goes down. Nice little technical descent coming down there. Obviously I'm not going to record it because I needed both hands. I'm just very kind of wary of the brakes still. So yeah, not much further to go now, and then we're at Oaks Hall Farm, and then we're back onto the roads again and then into Shrewsbury. So yeah, I think this is definitely a good choice of the route. I think it's my first real bit of bridle track on the whole journey really. Well, that's been usable anyway. Yeah, happy days. I was quite worried coming out of Ministerley and then towards Pontypridd, because you're coming along the main A road, the 488, and I was worried about the traffic, but actually there's a lovely cycle route on the side of it. Yeah, so what we have, folks, is sat quietly just outside of Baschurch. Quite, because I was talking to somebody who lived in the village and didn't even know it was there. So right over there in them trees, that is the berth. So it's the berth pool, birthing place, and the surmise is that is where a lot of the kings of Powys are buried. So forget about Arthur. In some of the stories, the kings of Powys are buried there. Now there's been no archaeological digs on there. They did sort of one of these resistance scannings, and they found what they believed to be a grave. That could be just one, there could be many, but it was a bit of an odd place really, because it was a set of rings, and I'll put a picture up so that you can see, because this is about as close as we can get, because there's a road that runs all the way over there and there's a road that runs all the way over there, but there's no public access to it, which is a real shame. So that potentially is where the character, in inverted commas, of King Arthur, or who King Arthur is based upon, or one of the many people he's based upon, is actually buried there in Baschurch, and this comes from the chap Graham Phillips, and a few others really who've done a lot of research around this. And you've got to remember, in this time, the time when they're on about this in the Dark Ages, it was very much a different world here. All of this land here was marshlands. There would have been pools of water which would have protected it, so there would have been causeways, there was 2 interlinked islands, so it's very different than what we see today. Obviously it's all been kind of drained for farmland management. So yeah, massively different place than what we would have thought of. And when they talk about the Isles of Avalon is, again, it's Geoffrey of Monmouth's story. He's come up with that. He's determined that that's what that place is. That's where Arthur was buried. So I can't really hold too much belief in Geoffrey of Monmouth, and also I think the moat to Arthur, and then there's earlier texts as well that go back. I think the earliest is somewhere around about the 5th or the 6th century, maybe, where the name Arthur is mentioned, but He's only mentioned as a warlord, not as a king. So there is historical names of these people, and there's quite a few. Obviously you've got Cadbury's Castle and you've got Tintagel. I'm just going to say this, sorry Tintagel, but there's absolutely nothing to do with King Arthur. Again, Tintagel is part of Geoffrey of Monmouth's story, and Geoffrey of Monmouth wrote it as a story, and that's what we need to remember. So he's not an historical person. He didn't record history. He took many different kind of elements of history from the Dark Ages and cobbled them together to create this story. And then people are like, well, why did he do it? Well, why wouldn't he have done it? You know, he's come over, he set up his new monastery. He needs to make a name for himself among the kings. He writes this fabulous story about a king, you know, knights in shining armour and a holy grail and all of this, and then subsequent kings latch onto that and they all say, look, I'm related to King Arthur, so I am the King of Britain. So there's a lot of reasons why Geoffrey of Monmouth did his thing, but that's where that particular story that everybody knows now, knights swashbuckling, King Arthur, Knights of the Round Table, all of that was to do with Geoffrey of Monmouth. It didn't really exist like that. So yeah, it's an interesting place. It's such a shame that we can't get there, because I believe it's quite an interesting looking place, but there's no public access at all onto that land there. I think over there I can see in the distance there's actually a kind of a bit of a fence that doesn't look like it's climbable. So yeah, that is the Birth outside of Baschurch. So it is 7:15 now, and I think I'm probably going to try and go to sleep in a minute. I am shattered. I've had my tea. Thankfully the sun's gone down as well, so it's not like an oven in here now. See how I sleep. And last day tomorrow, last sort of 30-40 mile push maybe. Let's see how we get on. Catch me in the morning.